And we are live. We're back. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, go ahead and tell the folks about the beautiful people that sponsor this podcast.
Down bad today, Lance, but sure enough, let's do it. Show is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000 and walking out the door. We just concluded a great Wanna week and, frankly, Wanna season. The app launched this football season this year, and the boys and girls Wanna Parlay made good use of a startup company with some pretty unbelievable offerings going out there. So we've had them on the show. We talked about it at length, but your David Smerlings, your dialed picks of the world, your all those guys who are in the 30K and 15K clubs. Outstanding job this football season. Now we got to see who really shows up as we fully transition to the winter sports and hoops and hockey and baseball and everything else to come. So we'll keep you posted. Going to be having fun, keeping the show rolling. Some big congrats to hand out, Lance. Super Bowl drip contest. You went and fucked the whole thing up.
Yep.
Congratulations.
So I'm gonna pull that up. Keep going, but I gotta talk about that. Keep going.
Yeah. So Lance wins the Super Bowl drip contest, which of course he was not supposed to because he legally can't. So our second place finisher is going to claim the title. That's our boy Latin. We're actually going to have him on the show tomorrow to talk about it. So fired up to get him going. The pick'em, CT Haynes 3 winning $200, and then a bunch of other people cleaning up there in the pick 4. Parlay Royale, Boots Cheeto, our guy Jeremy winning $1,000. Hoping to get him on the show either Tuesday or Thursday. We'll see what the scheduling is with Jeremy. The main event, this guy we are going to get hopefully for an interview in the next couple of weeks, but he's got a little bit of a press tour to do on this thing. He's going on a couple other different shows to talk about his win here. Maxwell Neal, a.k.a. Trippy Trevor. So big time stuff. We're stoked to have Max, 18-year-old kid, just won two grand on the Super Bowl. I'm 30, been betting on it my whole life. Never once, Maxwell. Lance, by the way, literally right now, the drop takeover at Little Joe's is going on. Started this afternoon, currently ripping all the way till 2 a.m. The drop takeover at Little Joe's. If you are in Chicago right now, plug us into the headphones, get mobile, get over to Little Joe's right now. You can join them anytime from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. They've got the jambalaya, the hot dogs, the insane Taylor Street sliders, beer, shots, best people in the world. You got KG Art and Bob back there. So if you could get there now, Lance and I have gone back and forth on this a ton. We are killed. We are distraught that we can't be there right now.
It's painful. I really wanted to be there, but how everything played out wasn't possible. But Jack, yeah, let's get on with the show because we got things to talk about. We have our heads to hang. I'm hanging my head over this one because I'm being a bad sport. That Super Bowl was tough, but we're going to start with our Thursday picks accountability time. I went 2-2 in the NBA. Rockets money line at T-Wolves loss. It was broke. I didn't fix it. It's unfortunate. Kings at Blazers. These fucking Blazers. I'm done betting against them. They're the greatest team. They're the greatest team on hardwood. I don't know what this is. So 0-2 right there, but we come back. Nuggets -6.5 versus Magic. They blew them out. This is my theme. The West
versus East?
Yeah, West versus East. Lean West. And then next game, Lakers -6.5 versus Warriors, which was a great game. LeBron went GOAT mode. Was just hitting logo threes all over the place, just hanging out, doing his thing. And Curry tried to come back, but ended up winning by 8, covering. And that was good. Jack, you have college hoops. Ooh, and you did damn good. Go ahead.
I go 2-0 in college hoops. Ohio State -2 versus Maryland. That game was tipping off right as we were finishing the show, and we were down 8 early. But again, very much like this Ohio State team. I don't know that they shoot the ball well enough to be someone but like very fun to root for. They play their asses off, extremely tough. Like to bet on them. We'll be doing it so again early and often. And then Northern Arizona -1 versus Montana State. Big Sky Hoops, people. I am 100. It's the only thing I'm proud of since we've started doing this show is I think I'm still 100% on betting all football and basketball in the Big Sky.
Yeah, you're small ball, I'll call it, in the football, basketball, whatever other sports you got in the back pocket. Jack, you're incredible. You're the man when it comes to me. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like teams I don't even know. Like
games you'd have to look up a stream to watch.
Yeah, like they don't broadcast it on any, not even ESPN Plus. David Smerling in the chat. Oh man, he's listen to this one. He's like, I'm a Drake fan and I needed the Chiefs to win for all my parlays to hit. Rough night. That is a rough night, David. I mean, Kendrick, absolutely. He came out. By the way, Jack, just quick. I know you're not really a rap guy. What were your thoughts about the halftime show? Yeah.
I said before it came on, I was like, someone's going to need to hold my hand through this and explain to me if it's good or bad. Because I just don't know. It just misses me. It just misses me. And I like a lot of rap music. It just, there's this the new age of rap and the Kendrick Drake game. It's not for me.
No, and I agree with you. I wasn't the biggest fan. I didn't think it was bad by any means. I didn't think he went out there and it was like a colossal flop, but it didn't wow me. Kendrick Lamar has so many bangers throughout his career. I'm like, why not just go up there and rip? Just fucking 1 through 10, the best songs you've ever made, your most popular, the one that gets people moving. Like, we don't need to make a message. We don't need one of your like only the diehard Kendrick fans know the song. Like, just run bangers. Just do that. He came out and he actually did the Drake song, the Not Like Us, you know, just exposed him on maybe you could possibly say the biggest stage. So yeah, it was good. It was all right. It did what
here's what I'll say, and I'll do it as a nice little transition. Is I just saw the Bob Dylan movie too, and kind of the knock on him. He like kept playing new shit, and people wanted him to play his hits, and it was like a huge pushback against it. I'm with you. Play your hits. And if there's another team that can play their hits, it's the goddamn Chiefs, who got me so sold down the river last night. It was so brutal. Just again and again and again. In no world did I see the Chiefs not getting past the 50-yard line until the second half.
No.
I don't know who had that on their bingo card. If you won money last night, congratulations. You're lucky.
They had, I think they had 27 yards in the first half.
It was a tragedy. And we had the pick six, and we had two turnovers and throws that you just never see Mahomes do. Like 0 for on several of the third downs. 0 for all night last night on fourth down. Just an absolute tragedy. And really, honestly, the other bummer of it is, and Eagles fans will kill me for this, but just a snooze fest. Zero drama. Zero anything going on in that game.
It felt over early.
And you kind of saw this coming. Maybe that was part of it. The maybe the narrative and the extra
historical
aspects of this game, made it a different deal. Eagles, again, amazing. They played damn well in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that. It's three Super Bowls in the last, or appearances in the last 7 years or so, and each one they've been in, they're playing their absolute ass off. So that's impressive.
Yeah, this game, it really felt like the Chiefs came out flat and kind of, I don't know, where was the urgency? But I will say, there's not much you can do if you can rush 4 and get pressure on Patrick Mahomes like that. Every play. They didn't blitz once. The Eagles didn't blitz once. If you can rush 4 and get to Mahomes the way they did, there's no recipe for winning in that. Now, I will say, we were betting on the heroics of Mahomes, like, because he's the guy. He's been the man the past, few years, and I still call him the man. I mean, it's one bad night, but he was just missing throws. He's throwing at ankles. He's a little behind on that one on the out route. I mean, there were so many that he just missed that he never does. That it was shocking.
Yeah, it didn't quite feel like their loss against the Bucks.
No, because
cutting it loose, and he was running sideline to sideline, but he was still
making plays. Yeah,
and we felt like we were really having a game that as we were going through there. That I'd never seen that before. Like, we entered that game going, when Patrick Mahomes wins this, he might already be the GOAT. He might have already just eclipsed Brady. It might be over. He's just backslid somehow on that case a lot, because we never saw that from Brady in any of that. We had the 28. I'm sitting there at halftime laughing at the Eagles fans in my apartment, going, we got Brady calling the game, who came back from 28-3. You don't think this guy's coming back down from 24? Here comes surgery right here. And they're starting with the ball, and I'm telling people, score, stop, score. We're going into the fourth quarter with the ball down 2 possessions, maybe 1. I think we're fine here, folks. And sure enough, it never once changed the tide. The little stuff at the end. All it did was ruin my under. That's all that did. Didn't make the game any more exciting. Didn't do anything good. So let me while we're doing accountability, let me run through some of these bets.
Oh yeah.
We were all over here. Okay, hang on. My notes got all turned around.
No worries. But yeah, no, this didn't feel like a game at all. It was just domination from the Eagles, and I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming at all. In the Buccaneers one, I mean, you heard the O-line, like you heard everything, and like that was actually a focal point in that game, what a mismatch it was going to be on that line of scrimmage. But Mahomes in that game still played his ass off and played well and was like making heroic throws. Yeah, it didn't amount to anything, but he was, still Mahomes. This game was the first game I've seen in his NFL career where he was just flat out not the best player on the field.
I had Chiefs cover. We both did. Hard L. I had the under. You stayed clear of that wisely. It was, I'll say this too. The Chiefs defense hung in there.
They played their ass off. If it wasn't for just brutal penalties, that's part of the game. Chiefs get it. Chiefs don't. But the penalties in some of those situations, it was like 2nd and 26, Jack, and we're hitting Saquon late. Bolton comes in and just blows his ass up when the ball had been spiked for a second or two. It's like, this isn't what we do here in Kansas City, but
it was brutal.
Yeah,
and basically, the picks that we had talked about all week, everything was designed around, okay, we're going to wait and see on red zone offense, but we're confident that the Chiefs are going to be able to move this field up and down, and the Eagles will hang. So the whole thing was we're going to get big fields, long drives, and we'll see what happens. And we just never once got rolling with the Chiefs. And so we didn't even have the guys on the field to cover a lot of these numbers. We go through it. I hate the fact that every Eagles bet I had also lost, just the added insult to it, because I have Saquon Barkley over 109.5 here. And again, to the Chiefs' credit, they bottled them up and did well. Jalen Hurts was outstanding on third down last night. Really, really good on third down. Devontae Smith was a baller. We knew to be him over A.J. Brown. Just didn't have the balls to actually bet it. Kareem Hunt under 43.5, under 11.5 attempts. Good shape there. Xavier Worthy over 5.5 yards rushing. Not one carry for Xavier Worthy last night. And it's because they never got the momentum of a drive happening. You can't set up a jet sweep without anything succeeding, first of all. That's the change-up pitch up for something winning with the run game. And never once could even do that. So we never got the carry, which drives me absolutely nuts. Noah Gray over 12.5 yards. Comes up just short. Just wasn't on the field long enough. DeAndre Hopkins over 11.5 yards. We're right all over D-Hop. That was nice. Over 11.5 yards receiving, over 1.5 yards, over 1.5 receptions, and an anytime touchdown. It came in garbage time, but thank God, because it was plus 600 and I needed it desperately. What was up with the drop at the end of the half? We're going to go get points on that drive. What the hell happened?
It's like his leg, he got shot with a paralyzing dart and his legs just give out on, he like falls. I'm like, son, are you all right? What the fuck are you doing?
That I needed to take a walk around the block and just go, it's a kooky night. It's over.
It's just over. Not our day.
And I'm sitting there staring at the 16.5 going, no. We're going to get a great game. Texting Kansas City people on the side. I'm not nervous. What are we talking about? Reed Blankenship over 4.5 tackles. Cooper DeJean over 3.5 tackles. They just flat didn't play enough plays. The Eagles were getting off the field every time on third down, and we weren't even completing passes.
No.
So it's just that stat wasn't even there. Not one Eagles player went on his over of tackles. Harrison Butker over 7.5 points. The Chiefs set the record this year for red zone offense, for the trips to the red zone. Their only backside was not being able to finish. Harrison Butker has never missed a field goal in Super Bowl history. This should have been cashed. We got it early. It was at minus 195 before game. He gets zero.
Just brutal.
Harrison Butker didn't play last night.
He didn't. Yeah, you're right. He didn't play. He might have. I don't even know if he does kickoffs.
We battled back. You lost the coin toss. I win. So I bet we'll go back and look at the film, what we agreed to. But
I definitely owe you $20, but I'm just gonna make it a couple beers when I see you next. Unless you want that Venmo, but no, we'll get it.
John Baptiste really milked the last little bit of the national anthem to carry us to this over because it was humming along. I was like, oh my God, it's underball. And then nope. He like did the last verse about 5 times. So we hit that one. At this point, by the way, I was hitting national over, coin toss. Chiefs get a stop on the opening drive. I literally was like, pay me my money right now. I'm about to go fucking 15 of 15, make $1,000. No. Gatorade color was not purple. They went yellow. Went yellow on us.
Yeah.
Wasn't fucking green though. Whoever went green, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
If you go green, you're just a fucking idiot. There's nothing else to it.
You've never been to a supermarket, or you need to visit an optometrist and get organized.
That's true. They could be international. Maybe they don't have Gatorade over there in Europe and other places. I don't know.
Really only 2 Taylor Swift sightings by my count. There was the one classic getting booed, and then she's not the winner, so we don't get her at the end of the broadcast either. So that's a loss. And Donna Kelsey did not show cleavage, which we knew, so that's a win.
Hey, I like the new star they got, Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was good. That was good stuff to see. I mean, she's just a good look. She's just a good looking human. I don't know what else to tell you.
She's aging very well. That prompted a look up in my apartment of 15 people sitting there going, "How old is Anne Hathaway?" It was a good little name and age game. 43. Good for her. Looking great.
Hey, that is good for her.
All right. Now, for God's sakes, can we pivot off this game? Because it sucked. It was a snooze fest. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Congratulations to Vic Fangio, first time beating Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I feel bad for Chiefs fans, but not at all. I don't. They're going to be back, that's when it's tough. When you're an SMU fan, you lose in the playoffs. I don't know when we're going back. Maybe never. You got to live with that reality. You're a Chiefs fan. You got a 29-year-old Patrick Mahomes. I think you're going to be all right. I think you're going to be okay.
Do you think Kelsey comes back one more year, right? He has to.
I go one more year, and I think Tyreek Hill could be on his way back to Kansas City. If I was missing one thing from last night, because if you think about some of the Chiefs' wins in their Super Bowl too, they have not been dominant. They, were down 10 second half to the 49ers. You had that big late play to Tyreek. I think they're missing some of that. Being forced to go X amount of plays against the Eagles and not have any of the explosives hanging out there to put some pressure and back them off. I mean, they were clamping and gloving those guys out the entire game. Quinion Mitchell's an absolute baller.
Yeah.
But so I think they're in the market for speed. I think Tyreek Hill wants to be on a contender. Dolphins don't feel like they're getting better.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. But the only problem, I mean, last night, Xavier Worthy, when he could get a football to him, looked kind of dynamic. He looked pretty damn good on the deep ball. Obviously, later in the game, you rush 4 and get pressure like that, you're not going to win a football game. Yeah,
what's so interesting on the pass rush though? It just felt like they were so disciplined with it, where like they like maintained rush lanes. They didn't necessarily take their shot, so it wasn't like you saw Mahomes sliding a lot. Like he conceded, it felt like a ton of sacks last night.
Yeah,
just getting like running out of space and time. And I just never have seen that before from Patrick Mahomes. He is like, his superpower is always being just the step fast enough he needs to be. I don't think he'd run better than a 4.6 40, but he always seems to outrun 4.4 guys. It's the strangest thing. So it just was none of that last night. And he kept looking for it and begging for it. And we got maybe 2 minutes of it late. But at that point, all you're doing was losing my other bets.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just jetting down the QB contain, coming down, like screaming off the edges, and Carter and the other guy, the other D tackle, I mean, they were just blowing shit up. There was just no room to wiggle for Mahomes. It was a masterclass by the Eagles D line. That's really what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I personally thought, there I go thinking again. No matter who's going after Mahomes, unless it was that Buccaneers team, and I thought it was different. I'm a little shocked at myself for not recognizing, they're moving Tooney out to the left tackle. They're doing shit. It wasn't perfect at their O-line, that I didn't realize that fact. And the Eagles are real. Because we said the whole time, Eagles are the better roster. We just think Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to win.
The strip sack was the nail in the coffin, maybe, or the Devontae Smith touchdown. But that strip sack, outside of that, though, it just didn't feel like until late, like they were getting their ass kicked. It felt like a bunch of coverage sacks almost, Whereas, like, get the fucking ball out of your hand. Get the ball out of your hand.
Well, yeah, you're 100% right. It's like the combination. They were like, get the ball out of your hand. Because that first play of the game, it was a fucking strike. Literally, as he catches it, it's like in one motion, just through a, I forget who caught it, but throws a strike. They get yards. And then they just had nothing. Because they could rush forward. They could get home.
It was Juju on the first play of the game. We hit him 2 times. We had 25 yards on that opening drive. Punt on a stuff 3rd and 3. Held him inside the 20 there. Get another stop, and I'm feeling like, oh, we're fine. And never once again. I mean, I'll go back through the play-by-plays, but like, golly. I always think of 3 and outs as turnovers. Like if you pick the ball off 4 yards downfield, that's the same as a 3 and out.
Yeah.
You're just doing the same thing. And so that was an ass kicking last night. That was an utter and shocking ass kicking. And I'm just all too unhappy to have lost all the money that I did. What an absolute bummer.
It was just belt to ass. There was nothing else to it. It was depressing. I was just sitting there watching, just like, man, I wish there was something I could do. Like, I'm just hopeless. This hurts.
And now we have nothing to do but soldier on and talk about basketball.
Yep.
It's basketball season now.
It is basketball season now.
You know what though? Hell of a night to say fuck basketball season. We're getting the Luka Doncic debut tonight, aren't we?
Yep. Yeah, we are. I mean, hey, and they're streaming it on ESPN. The NBA knows this. It just feels more and more like an NBA move more than the Mavericks and Lakers actually trading with each other. Silver 100%. Phoned in. Ratings are too bad. This is embarrassing. Let's
this Nike executive that never worked in an NBA front office.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I just don't get some of these moves. I mean, well, I will say Pelinka was just Kobe's agent, and now he looks like the greatest GM of all time. So
there you go.
Yeah. So
I'm are you betting Lakers tonight? I am. I think Luka Doncic's number is 28.5. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have fun.
I mean, man, the 12.5s with the Lakers, because every single team ever plays the Lakers like it's their NBA championship. Like, I don't know what it is. There's always random people that just go insane on the Lakers. I do get it. It's the Lakers and LeBron, and now LeBron and Luka. Everyone's going to be going after them. So I'm like, the 12-point spreads are so tough. It
is the Jazz.
Yeah, well, no, it's the Jazz. They should blow them out. Then you have Jordan Clarkson for no reason, chuck 8 threes, and he makes 5 of them. And it's like, they just do anything they can to compete. And, everyone loves playing in LA. So, personally, I don't know if I'm betting on the game. Probably will when I lose if I lose one of the early bets and I need to claw. But talking about early bets, I'm actually just going to give my NBA picks for the night real quick. I got Celtics minus 5.5 at Heat. Heat moved off Butler. They're kind of just in this flat spot, and the Celtics have had their number for years. I'm going Celtics here. I think I like it. Pretty sure I like it. Next, Thunder minus 16.5 versus Pelicans. So it's a fucking massive spread, and I've seen too many of these where they hit. And I'm like, why? I could have easily known that. You're telling me the story. I mean, the Thunder are the best team in the NBA, and the Pelicans look like shit. Why wouldn't they beat them by 40 in this new NBA? So I'm like, you know what? Tonight I'm trying it. I'm in. Thunder minus 16.5 at Pelicans, or versus Pelicans at Thunder. Next, Spurs minus 11.5 at Wizards. I mean, the Wizards are just awful team. I know they got a couple couple wins, but
no more Kyle Kuzma there. Weird team.
Yeah, no more Kyle Kuzma. They got Middleton, who's out for out non-injury related. Sar is hurt. I mean, it's basically just Jordan Poole running around trying to shoot 30 shots a game and see what he can do. So I love Spurs minus 11.5 at Wizards. The one thing that does concern me is the Spurs are still a young team and they're susceptible to choking away leads. I've seen it throughout this season. So I'm like, hopefully this, De'Aaron Fox just takes care of business and these Spurs just fucking rout them. So, yeah, those are my 3. Celtics minus 5.5, Thunder minus 16.5, Spurs minus 11.5.
I'll say this. I know the public betting numbers Celtics wise aren't great in your favor there. But
Okay.
the public was 85% on the over that Super Bowl last night, and that over still cashes. So, maybe I'm getting a little lost trying to follow that all the time. Thunder, I think when the first plays the worst is always a weird game. That's the only thing I'd caution against. It's always a weird game.
But the Pelicans are bad and they're right there. But I'm like, you got Chet back. It's gonna be Chet, Hartenstein.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it's at Thunder. I'm like, I can't. And I think exactly the way you do. Like every time, I'm like, I mean, this is the NBA. They hang in there, and I just see too many blowouts where I'm like, that is just money I should take. So that's why this is almost like a trial bet. Let's see if I can hit a big number.
The Pelicans are got to be a little incentivized here. They swamp. I mean, it remains to be seen if they miss, but they get the big number 1 overall pick in Zion coming out of Duke. Maybe they want to be in this Cooper Flag spot right now. Yeah, trade Zion, flip it for some stuff, and just go restart around a young star.
No, 100%. And I think they should trade Zion. Zion just deserves to be in a big market. He doesn't have the work ethic and like the fucking character to grind in a small market. That's my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with me.
Okay, sir. And I love the Spurs ones, by the way. That's going to be immediately successful. I'm just now calling the dogs off on my wanting to be a Wemby hater. Everyone was like, he's going to be a top 5 player all time immediately. And I was like, we'll see. I've seen a bunch of goofy tall guys before. Okay, we'll see. And I've been starting to watch some of his shit, and it's
he's pretty good, dude. He's just a freak.
Yeah, he's pretty special. So Spurs minus 11.5 versus that Wizards team, which is absolutely lost, has been for years. So love that one. Only NBA spot I'm in. I'm watching that Laker game tonight. I'm fired up for it. So I'll be taking the Lakers minus the points. I'm going to take Luka's points, and I'm going to take LeBron's assist number. Luka's points are 28.5. I'm getting 8.5 on assists for LeBron. That always seems to toggle right between 8.5 and 9.5 for him. I just think there's going to be a lot of hockey pass and good looking stuff tonight. And if I think LeBron's going to make a point to almost publicly defer tonight and find spots to hit Luka for some threes and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. And then college hoop pick of the night. Just trusting my gut on this. Clemson minus 4.5 versus UNC. Clemson coming off the massive win against Duke. I don't anticipate the letdown here. And every time I've watched UNC this year, they're just not the UNC of old. They're hanging on. It's a little bubbly right now. If they would beat Clemson tonight, they'd just assuredly be in the tournament. So massive spot for them. I still trust the line. Clemson's still playing to be regular season ACC champs after that Duke win. They're North Carolina upsetting Duke at the end of the season from having a share, and ultimately the tiebreaker with their head-to-head win of an ACC title. So super cool for Clemson. They could win in both football and basketball this year. I think the place is rolling, having fun. I think they're a damn good basketball team. Go ahead and take them. Trust the points.
No, yeah.
And that's it,
I was looking at that one, and I, because obviously I don't know quite literally anything when it comes to college basketball. I know a couple of the NBA prospects, but and I was like, what a weird spot, because is UNC, like, do you think UNC, do they make the tournament?
It'll be interesting. I think UNC and SMU are both in kind of the same spot right now, where they're not, their resume is not done. They're not they're not out, nor do they have to do anything kooky, but they are going to have to beat some teams that they haven't been able to beat this year. Both problems for both teams. They've yet to beat anybody in that quad one sphere. And so massive spot here. This is somehow, I got to understand the resume building and what the committee looks for and all this stuff with the quad one wins and the strength of schedule rankings and all this sort of stuff. But I'm going to get educated on this week as we start kind of turning down towards March Madness and starting to figure out who our darling teams are. Because this is crucial time. Hopefully we can watch, just about all these tournament teams between now and the time we actually go in. We're going to get the conference championships. We'll get to watch those games, have a really good idea of what we're doing, and then have a great, couple weeks of doing the bracket on the show.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. I love the thought. I love the idea. I can't wait to execute. Yeah, and I'll just be sitting here grinding out the NBA. This is when I'm actually going to fully shift my attention, give it my all attention. There was football going on, and the NBA, honestly, before the Luka trade, I was not that interested. I'm going to be honest. I think me and a lot of people can agree, especially like the like all the fans that were fans when I was a fan.
It was an unwatchable product.
It was not great, but now there's actually a drama. There's all the storylines and everything. I'm excited for the rest of this NBA season. So we'll be locked in. It'll be good stuff. We got our picks out there. So I think that wraps. Yeah, I think that wraps us up, Jack.
Come heavy tomorrow with some college hoops and some NBA recap, and hopefully start transitioning to the winter sports and have a little fun. Apologies to the guests of today. Lance and I are both banged up. That was an unfortunate, bloody evening last night, and there's just no way to come with any sort of pride today. We showed up, we did our job, but the energy, it'll be better. We're gonna get some wins going tonight. We're gonna watch Luka LeBron. We're gonna forget about this football season, and we're gonna get right and start making some real money. Lance, that's our promise to this community. We got to start making some real money for all of us.
100%. I mean, that was. But yeah, my final words, that was a tough way to end the football season. Definitely going back to the drawing board to everything I believe in when it comes to the pigskin. And I'm just take a shit and flush it. Just leave it in the past. Move on. Lakers, Luka, let's fire up. Jack, you got it from here.
Absolutely. This was the Wanna Parlay podcast, the official podcast of home of all things Wanna Parlay, granddaddy of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, the platform that makes parlays for the American working man, because that's what we are and that's what we care about. Big time congratulations across the board. We're excited to have Latin on tomorrow, who is going to be our resident Super Bowl drip contest winner. Not you, Lance, you fucker. The pick'ems, we had CT Haynes 3 going home with $200. Parlay Royale, Boots Cheetah, our guy Jeremy coming on the show later this week, making $1,000. And Maxwell Neal, it'll be a couple weeks before we actually get him on the show, but we will get him. That's Trippy Trevor if you're looking out for picks. He's been on the platform 4 weeks and he's already won 8 times, including his first main event as of last night. But that's $2,000 for an 18-year-old kid watching the Super Bowl. Really hurts my feelings. Rooting for the kid, no problems there, but when's Jack's turn? When's Lance's turn?
Oh my God. David Sperling hopped in here really quick right before we leave. There he fired me up. He just said, Lance, good parlay for the jersey. I know you can't get it, but fucking nice hit. Dude, that was nice, David. That was a good little parlay. I threw it in there.
Hard to hit, man.
Yeah,
Parlays are hard to hit.
I threw it in there because I'm like, hey, it's free play. I get to place one. I'm a good sport, even if I know I'm not gonna win. Let me see if I can hit a little banger. And it actually came through. DeAndre Hopkins' touchdown was the last leg. It was just beautiful. It would have been my greatest day ever. It really meant something. But and Luka is playing tonight, David Smerling. That is a fact. Luka, LeBron, LA. It's going to be incredible. Make sure you tune in from Wisconsin. I miss you, David. I hope you're doing well.
Shout out to everybody at the Drop Takeover as well, going on right now at Little Joe's.
Yeah, David Smerling, honestly, I want you to lie to me right now and say you're at the Drop Takeover. I want you to just
tell me someone made it.
Yeah, just don't even. Let's go Lakers. That's right, David. Hey, let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks. You guys play the Warriors. You got Giannis out. I thought about that game, thought about that line, but it's too late, too little. We're sorry. So that'll be all, David. We love you. We'll see you next time. As for the rest of you, and cheers.